You're listening to the E2C Network, podcast by Auburn fans for Auburn fans.
War Eagle Auburn fans, and welcome to TRAX, your source for Auburn track and field and cross-country news and discussion. I'm your host, Jessica Loomis, and I'm here with my husband and, of course, my co-host, Kyle, to discuss the SEC Championship meet in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Jessica, we have an SEC Championship or two or three to talk about.
Do you mean an FCC champion?
Championship, same thing.
Okay.
We brought home the frickin' gold.
We brought home some gold, brought home some silver, and we brought home some bronze.
And look at you talking about the medals. I'm usually the one that gets happy about those things.
We brought home a lot of bling.
Can we just take a second here?
Okay, I'm ready.
We've been doing this show for what? Well, you've been doing this show in some capacity for probably at least 5 years now.
At least.
Have we? I think we've had at least one gold in an SEC competition before.
We've never had this much.
Not this much. We've not been able to gush about this the way we're going to be able to gush.
The way you want to gush. So when I tell you the meet highlights are probably as long as
the meet results.
Yeah. Honestly.
It's astonishing. We've seen this team do some really good things this season. And I wasn't going to be shocked if we pulled off a gold, pulled off maybe a bronze and maybe a silver. But the fact that we pulled off multiples of those each.
Multiple. And some athletes pulled off multiple on their own.
And some of them were even close to doing it themselves that didn't actually get in there. I was not expecting this from the Auburn track and field team.
I'm actually glad that you bring that up. And I'm glad that you weren't expecting it. That makes it almost even better.
Why is that?
I don't know. Just the surprise element. The hey, we did better than we thought we would do.
Well, we've been able to talk a lot about individual things, accomplishments before. Brenda Kigan, for instance. We raved about her while she was here in cross country and in long distance running for us, and she did some great things while she was here. Joyce Kimeli's doing a lot of good things on her own, but we've not been able to, as a team, make a case and say, hey, Auburn turned some heads as a team. Individuals, yes, but as a team, they're not in the back of the pack anymore.
Well, let's get started. So, obviously, the meet took place in Arkansas,
every freaking time. Sir.
Of course, the creme of the crop in Arkansas.
That's the only thing Arkansas's got going for us. I'm sorry. It had to be said.
Apparently, they have pigs there.
We've got pigs here, too, so what?
I don't know. Okay, well, February 25th through 27th. So, traditionally, the SEC Championship is a 2-day event, but this year, it was a 3-day event. So, I'm not sure if it was because of the pandemic or they just wanted to extend the time.
I would imagine it probably had to do with the pandemic.
I kind of figured too. So here we are. So let's talk about things going into the meet, before the meet, the good things before, because I think some of these things have changed. So Auburn women had 4 athletes ranked among the SEC's top 8 going into the meet, and the men had 5 athletes. So Joyce Kimeli was ranked 5th in the 5,000 meter and 8th in the 3,000 meter. This is in the SEC, remember. Maddie Malone was ranked 2nd in weight throw, Mara Huwalt 2nd in shot put, and Jocelyn Budwig 7th in the shot put. Then for the men, we had Dante Brown was ranked 3rd in the 60 meter, Christopher Grant was ranked 8th in the 60 meter, Dontavius Hill 3rd in the high jump, James Corson 4th in the pole vault, and Kyle Brown 5th in the weight throw.
So I'd like to not retract my statement that I wasn't expecting this. I should have maybe said it this way. There was potential shown here by the way they were ranked, how they've been producing throughout the rest of the regular season, that somebody could do something big. But the fact that it all came together on SEC Championship Day is just astonishing.
It's better than astonishing. Do you want to start us off with the meet highlights? So I don't even know that it's going to be hard to do meet results after we do meet highlights because everybody is a highlight.
Why won't we just say it again? Because, that's how awesome it is. We haven't been able to talk about, again, I feel like when I say this that I'm making fun of past teams and things, but I'm not doing that in any way. But since we've been doing this podcast and you and Whitney started it, y'all haven't had stuff like this to talk about in quite some time. This is
amazing.
This is great stuff. So yeah, I'll start us off here because it's the throwing stuff.
Which you love.
We'll start off with my girl, Maddie Malone, who broke her own school record in the weight throw for the 3rd time this year. And that's not once, that's not twice, that's 3. Her record-breaking toss was 22.89 meters.
That's amazing. Can you imagine? So first of all, you hold the school record, and then you beat it. And then you beat the school record again. And then at the SEC Championship, you beat the school record again. So you hold the top 3 school records for the women's weight throw.
It's incredible. Alex Spiridonidis and David Edmondson both got PRs for points in the men's heptathlon, and Alex got a bronze medal, so third place for Alex.
Yes.
You know, I feel like we've deserved a bronze medal from him, having to say his name the entire season.
Amen. Oh my God.
And we're not done yet.
I was so proud that you had to say it this time. I'm also proud that I get to talk about Joyce Kimeli.
Oh my goodness.
So
picture Kyle on Saturday.
Okay.
There's a lot going on Auburn wise. I mean,
Yes.
there's baseball, there's softball, there's basketball, there's a question. Everything's going on. I'm not even paying attention to that because I'm waiting for updates from track and field. And here comes not one. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, just stay away.
Joyce Kimeli galore.
But also, who are you that on a Saturday where we had Auburn basketball, Auburn baseball,
I paid attention to
Auburn,
those two.
all of those things, you're excited about track and field?
Because
and my work here is done.
I'm just saying, I want to see, is this for real? This
I'm
can't
proud
be
of
what
you.
we're doing here.
I'm very proud. So Joyce Kimeli, you're not supposed to pick favorites, but to be fair, this was my favorite thing to see throughout all the meet highlights. Joyce Kimeli not only won the 5,000 meter, but she got a meet record. The SEC Indoor Championship meet record with a time of 15 minutes, 46.88 seconds. Not only was this her first SEC gold medal, she was Auburn's first conference champion indoors since 2012. That's not all, folks. She was the first to win the 5,000 meter for Auburn since 1998, which I'm assuming that record is older than she is.
Wow, you actually think about it, it's pretty close probably, if it's not true.
Well, that's a 23-year-old record. She's got to be younger than 23.
I mean, some people spend a little bit longer than college. Me.
Kyle. But I'm thinking, yeah, that record's probably older than she is. But that's not all, folks. Joyce Kimeli also won the 3,000 meter run. She posted a school record and again an SEC indoor meet record with a time of 8 minutes 56.02 seconds. Also, she's the first Auburn athlete to win 2 SEC individual titles in the same year since 2007.
Did you happen to see the run on social media?
I saw the finish.
Okay, the finish is probably
Yes.
what we're both talking about. I don't know which event that was she was running in.
You're probably thinking of the 3,000 where it was a little close till the end.
Well, so she kind of trailed off a little bit on that last lap, and I'm like, well, how'd she win this thing? Because they're like out there way in front of her, and she comes around that last turn and hits another level of just jet engine power, and just it looked easy for her, to be honest with you.
You know what?
The way that she just kind of cruised past everybody else to the finish line.
You know what the best part about this, especially for the 5,000 meter, Kyle? She beat a girl from Arkansas and a girl from Bama who both beat her last year.
Yeah, Arkansas is always known for distance runners, but also Bama's been pretty good in the past couple of seasons as well.
Unfortunately.
Yes, we can admit it.
But
it's fine, which makes
the
it
fact
sweeter.
that she beat both of them, and also the girl from Arkansas she beat in the 3,000 meter again. I want to say that girl got second in both events. Man, it is so sweet. That is just beautiful. We are just so proud of Joyce, and watching her this season, but also the last 3 years that we've gotten to talk about her.
Feels like longer than that, honestly.
Yeah, maybe it's been 4. I don't know, but I love this, this generation of distance runners. They're definitely my favorites.
Yeah, I'm super proud of her, and the fact that you just got me 1 gold, but you got me 2 golds.
2 golds, and she's the first person to win 2 since 2007. Kyle, when you think about how long ago 2007 was, it seems like it was yesterday. No, that was stinking 14 years ago.
I'm thinking of that YouTube video where the guy's searching for the leprechaun in Mobile. Where the gold at?
That's her. Joyce has it all around her neck.
Where the gold at's with Joyce.
That's exactly right.
That's where it's at right now.
So moving on to some silver, which is also impressive. Dontavius Hill, he got a silver medal in the men's high jump.
Very proud of Dontavius Hill because he's been working real hard and come very close in the last couple of seasons of doing some big things, and see him do this on the conference level is huge. Let's talk about Dante Brown, who posted the fastest time in the men's 60-meter prelims with a PR of 6.62 seconds. That's blazing fast. Then, in the finals of the 60-meter, he posted a 6.66 time on that 60-meter dash. So a little bit slower, but it was enough.
But he still won.
It was enough to win. Can you imagine having to how what's the turnaround on that, the heats, for instance, So prelims versus finals. Is it usually?
It's usually it's a day later.
Oh, it is a day later.
For SEC, yeah, it was a day.
I didn't know if it was like the morning and then afternoon.
So if it's a 1-day meet, yes.
Okay.
But I think for this, I think one was Friday, one was Saturday.
It's interesting that his time was a little bit slower, and that's pretty significant slower, like, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Really?
4/100ths of a second?
I feel like that's pretty, in terms of, in my knowledge base of how fast.
Well, just you stay on your side of the table.
But the fact that he still won it is incredible.
Exactly.
And that was probably the big surprise of the day, to be
But
honest
not
with you.
only did he win it, but his teammate, Christopher Grant, got second place.
I mean, where's the third place guy? We need somebody to sweep whole thing with it. We needed to take the whole podium, but it's still great that he was there as well.
I was about to say, look at all that orange and blue on that podium. That was beautiful.
Forget gold and silver. It's orange and blue now.
Amen.
Which one's gold, though? And is orange gold or is blue gold?
Orange would be gold.
I feel like blue would be gold.
No,
it's
you're dumb.
It's more royal or something.
No,
okay, all right.
no.
Sorry.
Moving on to another distance event, we had Presley Weems. She PR'd in the mile prelims with a time of 4 minutes 42.37 seconds, but that's not all. She then qualified for finals, got another PR of 4 minutes 40.97 seconds in the mile finals, and placed 6th overall.
Yeah, that's important for us to talk about some of these other people that maybe didn't get medals and stuff at prelims, because what it does is show you how well Auburn did as a team.
And it shows you PRs, which, as we all know, is more important to me than medals.
Well, okay, so you don't like bling anymore, so I can have that?
I love bling, but it's more important to me that the relationship or the PR is there.
I was wondering how you were going to tie relationship and PR in
Well,
there.
because you said you wanted my wedding ring back, so
I didn't want it back. I just want to trade it
for
something
cheaper. But our relationship, wow.
Just kidding.
So I'm no longer worth this.
Oh,
Great.
I'm kidding.
Okay, next we had Caroline Lawrence. She became the first SEC scorer for the women's high jump with an 8th place finish. And we had James Corson posted a PR of 5.43 meters and placed second in the men's pole vault.
Let me finish us off here with my throw-in ladies. Jocelyn Butterwood placed 8th overall in the shot put. Also placed 8th last year, so she's at least staying consistent with the competition.
I was going to say, and she's scoring every year.
Exactly, because the top
top 8 score.
Exactly, top 8 score. Speaking of which, let's actually talk about overall team scores. Now, traditionally, Auburn's either been last
or dead last.
Well, that's last, but like second to last, basically in the bottom of the SEC.
Yes.
Now, when we say this, you might be a little bit underwhelmed in terms of like with all those golds and silvers where they're at, but I cannot stress how big, in my view at least, an improvement this is as a team. For women overall team score, out of 14 SEC teams, they were 10th, as opposed to being last or dead last, with a score of 30. I'm not going to let you leave that one down.
I'm glad that you understand the difference in last and dead last.
With a score of 30.5 points. The men, however, got an overall of 45 points, making them 8th out of 13. This is another place that I'm shocked at.
Yeah.
You know, because we see Joyce getting 2.
I was going to say, we heard Mara, Maddie, we heard all of these people, but it just goes to show you, low and slow.
And again, you're also need to think about it this way. We don't know what's the differentiation of competition across the men as opposed to the women.
Correct.
So,
but I think, so here's the thing. We had a lot of people, like men's 60-meter dash. We scored 18 points right there. Right. First and second place, 10 points, 8 points.
Yeah.
So that really will kill it, getting lots of points for the team. So
yeah, it's what these guys and these ladies have done in this meet is absolutely incredible. And like we said, when we go through the rest of the, updates from the meet here, we've already touched on most of them, but we want to make sure we give credit to everybody else who contributed and
absolutely
and racing this, because this is a team. Even though these are a bunch of individual events, this is still a team sport.
I'm glad you have finally understood that, because I feel like it took us a full 3 years with you and I doing this podcast to understand.
I always said this was a sport.
No. Yeah, you said it's a sport. You didn't understand it was a team sport. But anyway,
she's not bitter about that at all.
Right. Let's get into the overall results for everything. So like we said, men's 60-meter dash, Dante Brown placed first in the finals with a time of 6.66, and Christopher Grant placed second with a time of 6.71.
I don't need to say anything more there, just utter dominance to start us off.
Yeah. So moving on to the men's 200-meter dash, we haven't talked about this. 16 athletes. Brandon Smiley placed 12th with a time of 21.13 seconds, his fastest this season. And Jason Reese placed 15th with a time of 21.8 seconds.
For the men's 1 mile, we had Ryan Kinane, 16th out of 21 competitors with a time of 4 minutes, 13.5 seconds. And so that's not his fastest time. It's actually the slowest of the year, but still doing big things on the big stage in the SEC. Also, we had Jack Rogers, who was 21st out of 21 competitors with a time of 4 minutes, 21.9 seconds.
And that's actually one of Jack's not best races.
It's not.
It's about 10 seconds slower than he normally does. So I think we can expect more from him.
He's
in
got
outdoor.
outdoor competition still to go, so
Absolutely.
he can obviously get better with that. In the men's 60-meter hurdles, let me try to pronounce this name. We had to do it a couple times. Oquindo Bernard.
I love it.
Is that
That sounds nice.
If that's how you pronounce your name or not, I'm so sorry again to him and his family. But 12th out of 16th in the 60-meter hurdles, 8.13 seconds, an improvement for him of 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, that's significant.
It's a big jump.
Yeah. Next, moving on to men's high jump, we had Dontavius Hill, which we already talked about, placing second.
Silver.
With a jump of 2.13 meters. And then TJ Funchess placing 9th out of 12 athletes with a jump of 2.03 meters.
Not his best jump of the year, but it did improve from his last one. So he's trending in the right direction at the very end of the season.
Absolutely. So moving on to the men's pole vault, 13 athletes. James Corson, like we said before, getting that silver medal with a vault of 5.43 meters, a significant PR for him. Just as a recap, his last vault was 5.01 meters. So as it was said in the little meet highlights, that's 3 notches higher on the vaulting pole where they move it up and then you have to vault higher and higher.
Can you imagine how pumped he was after that?
Man!
The fact that he got that increase, but just with the silver on top of that, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then we had Matthew Asplund placing 13th with a vault of 4.9 meters.
We'll talk about the shot put for the men. Adam Strauff, 11th overall with a throw of 15.86 meters. Men's heptathlon, we've already touched on a little bit. Alex Spyridonidis got 3rd overall. He got the bronze medal. And then David Edmondson finished 8th, both in the top half of the competition with 16 competitors there. The women's 60-meter dash, Nia Benton Andrews, 17th out of 21 competitors. Also Destiny Charles in there, 21 out of 21 is where she fell in that. Nia got 7.55 seconds on her run. And then Destiny got 7.8 seconds on her run.
And moving on to the women's 200-meter dash, we only had one competitor, Destiny Charles, placing 20th out of 23 athletes with a time of 24.07 seconds, which is her best this season. Then Presley Weems, who we've already talked about in the women's mile, getting 6th overall in the finals with a PR of 4 minutes, 40.97 seconds.
Now, we don't know who's actually going to be competing on the national stage yet, correct?
Correct.
But I would assume that Presley's probably going to be there. Would that be a safe
I would assume.
I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction.
Hit me.
I'm going to predict that Presley finishes in the top 5 of national. I think she will. I got a feeling.
I like it.
It's just a feeling.
I like it.
But that's Presley. If you hear this, don't make me a liar.
Oh, jeez. So, moving on, we've already talked about Joyce Kimeli. We're not going to rehash it, but Joyce
She's
Kimeli,
awesome.
Yes, getting first in both the women's 3,000 and the women's 5,000 meter.
All right, high jump. Caroline Lawrence was the first of 3 competitors for us, 8th out of 15 with a jump of 1.71 meters. Allison Tanner with a jump of 1.71 meters as well. That got her 12th out of 15, so she got it in more tries. Did I have that correct?
Yeah.
It took Caroline less tries to get that level.
Yes, and Caroline cleared it more times.
There we go. Then Kamaya Dindy also competed here with 15th out of 15 competitors in the SEC. 1.66 meters was her highest jump. The triple jump, which is always funny to watch and very, very complicated. Janiyah Jones got 12th out of 13 competitors with a jump of 12.25 meters. And then Amani Jones, 13th out of 13 competitors with a jump of 11.62 meters.
I feel bad ending on the throws. This is always your favorite.
It's fine. It's fine. You took Joyce Kimeli from me in the highlights, and now you might as well take...
Do you want to talk about the throws?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
This is your sport anyway.
Women's shot put. We had Jocelyn Budwig place 8th out of 17 athletes with a throw of 15.64 meters. And Mara Hewalt with a 10th place finish and a throw of 15.48 meters. So just as a reminder, Jocelyn did score points for Auburn that event. For the women's weight throw, obviously we talked about Maddie Malone with her 3rd place finish out of 19 athletes. Throw of 22.89 meters. her best this season, her best overall. And then Mara Hewalt placing 11th with a throw of 18.24 meters. Finally, Jocelyn Budwig with a 15th place finish and 17.98 meter throw. Also her best of this season.
I don't know that my little newly loving track loving heart can take much more of this.
You know what? There is nothing that brings me more joy in life than knowing that something that I introduced to you, you now love.
All I had to do, you had to just, connect Auburn with it. And
it took me a long time to get you to love the TV show Friends, and now I've got you to love track and field.
Oh, Lord.
My life is complete.
Well, if that's what it took to make your life complete, that's pretty sad, but...
Well, I just, you're hard to please, sir.
Well... Maybe not. That's not the case. But the fact is, I've gotten a better appreciation for this, even when we weren't seeing times when the big things were happening.
That's right.
And so here's the thing: the stage is set now for nationals, and I don't want to sit here and say that we're going to see the same success that we saw at SEC competition.
However, we might see better.
However, they're going to be playing at the same place, running, jumping. They knew what I meant.
Yes.
We're going to be competing.
There
at the same exact location against a lot of the SEC talent is still going to be there, so they're going to know how to beat how to run against, how to jump against it. I know that they're not technically jumping against it. I understand this, folks, but this is just how I process it in my mind. I feel good about it, but I don't want to get too overconfident.
Well, I'm glad, but we do have 2 weeks before the nationals, so the NCAA championships will take place. Like I said, 2 weeks, same place. Randall Tyson Track Complex in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
We showed that Arkansas is not our daddy anymore.
Oh!
And we're going to prove it again on the national stage.
I love it. Well, thank y'all for joining us for this exciting edition of Tiger Tracks.
Gold and silver!
Oh my. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Before you get out of here, we want to remind you of a couple of things. Head over to e2cnetwork.com, our website where you can find everything that you'll ever need from us. Podcasts, blogs, and even ways to help support the show. If you want to find individual episodes, you can download all of these on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So until we see you again, I want to remind you of one thing, that here at the network, we believe in Auburn and love it. The only question remains, do you?